It was a Saturday morning when he woke up to the sound of his youngest crying. He reached over to his wife's side of the bed, but it was empty. At first, he thought she had gone to the kitchen, but as the minutes passed, the silence told a different story. He checked his phone. No message, no missed call, just nothing. When he walked downstairs, he found their 3 kids sitting on the couch, confused and hungry. His oldest, barely 10, looked up at him and said, "Dad, where's Mom? She left last night with a suitcase." His heart dropped. She had left? Without saying a word, without telling him, without even thinking about the kids, he tried calling her, straight to voicemail. He texted her again and again, but the only response came hours later. "Don't worry. I needed time for myself. I'll be gone a week. A week, alone, without warning, leaving 3 kids behind." He stared at that message, his hands trembling. Not from anger alone, but from disbelief. This wasn't just irresponsible. It was betrayal. He had always carried the heavy weight of being the provider, but he trusted her to be the anchor for their children. Now she had abandoned them like they were an afterthought. But instead of collapsing, he stood taller. That week, he did everything she had left undone. He cooked breakfast, packed school lunches, did laundry late into the night, and sat with the kids through their homework. He braided his daughter's hair for school even though he had never done it before. He sang lullabies when his youngest cried for Mom. And when exhaustion threatened to break him, he reminded himself of one thing. They deserved better than this. Meanwhile, pictures of her self-care trip began to surface on social media. She wasn't just away, she was partying, smiling with strangers, and posting captions like, "Finally living my best life." Each post cut deeper, not because he missed her, but because their children did. The kids asked where she was, and he never lied. He just said, Mom needed time, but in his heart he knew the truth. She wasn't thinking of them at all. By the time she returned, suitcase rolling behind her and a smug smile on her face, the house felt different, cleaner, warmer, stronger. She walked in like nothing had happened. "See? You survived," she said with a laugh, dropping her bag by the door. But he didn't laugh. The kids didn't run to her either. They just stayed close to him, as though they sensed something had shifted. "We did more than survive," he said calmly. "We thrived without you, and in your absence I learned something important." She tilted her head, still smirking. "Oh yeah? And what's that?" "That we don't need someone who abandons their family on a whim." Her smile faltered. "What are you talking about?" He handed her an envelope. Inside were divorce papers. "You chose yourself," he said, voice steady, "and I choose our children. From now on, they come first, and I won't let them grow up thinking this is what love looks like." She blinked, stunned. "You can't be serious. It was just a trip." "No," he corrected her. "It was a choice, and now this is mine." Her confidence shattered as the reality sank in. She had left expecting him to wait, to tolerate, to forgive. But instead, he had found strength in her absence, and the children had found a hero in their father. She thought she could leave everything behind and come back to claim it all again. But what shocked her most was realizing that the family she had abandoned no longer belonged to her. And in that moment, he didn't just stand as a husband betrayed. He stood as a father who refused to let his children be left behind again.